Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I want to teach you about something very important in AWS called NACL. Do not worry if you have not heard this word before. I will explain everything in simple English. By the end of this video, you will understand what NACL is, how it works, and why it is important for AWS. So let's start. In this video, we are going to learn about NACL. NACL is a short name. The full name is Network Access Control List. It is a part of AWS security. Think of it like a security guard at building entrance. This security guard decides who can come in and who cannot. NACL does the same thing for your computer network. Let me explain what NACL is. NACL is a special firewall. A firewall is like a wall that protects your house. This firewall is in AWS. It controls traffic. Traffic means data moving in and out of your network. NACL works at the subnet level. What is subnet? A subnet is like a small room inside your VPC. A VPC is like a whole office building. In AWS, every EC2 instance must be inside a subnet. The NACL controls what data can enter and leave this subnet. So, if you have 5 servers in one subnet, the NACL protects all 5 servers together. It does not protect each server one by one. Remember this, NACL is for the whole subnet. So where does NACL sit in AWS? Now let us see where NACL is in AWS. Look at this picture. The internet is outside. Data comes from the internet. First, it comes through the internet gateway. The internet gateway is like the main gate of your office. After the internet gateway, the data enters the VPC. Inside the VPC, there is a subnet. The NACL sits here. It checks all traffic going in and out of the subnet. Finally, inside the subnet, there are EC2 instances. EC2 is like a computer server. So the order is first there will be internet, then internet gateway, NACL, subnet, and then EC2 servers. So NACL is like a middle police officer. It checks everything before it reaches to your server. So this is very important. NACL is a stateless. So what does stateless means? Let me explain with an example. Imagine you are in a restaurant, the waiter brings you food, you eat the food, then the waiter brings you the bill. The restaurant remember that you ordered the food, but NACL does not remember. It is like a very forgetful waiter. Every time your server sends data out, NACL forgets about it. When the response comes back, NACL checks again. It does not remember the first request. Because of this, you must allow both the request going out, the response coming in. If you only allow the request, the response will be blocked. This is very different from security group, which remembers. So let me give you a real example. Imagine someone wants to visit your website. Your website is on port 80. Port 80 is the normal website port. First, the person's computer sends a request to a port 80. This is like knocking the door. But wait, where does the response go? The response does not go to the port 80. The response goes to the random high port number. This port number is between 1024 and 65535. These are called ephemeral ports. So, if NACL only allows port 80, the response cannot come back. The response is blocked because it comes to a different port. This is why NACL is a stateless. You must tell it, allow request to port 80, allow response from the port 1024 to 65535. If you forget the second one, the client will not get the response. They will be very angry. Now, let us talk about NACL rules. A rule is like an order. Each rule has these parts. First, there is a rule number. Rule numbers are like order numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This is very important. NACL checks rules from the smallest number first. So, it checks rule 1, then rule 2, then rule 3. It stops at the first rule that matches. Second, there is a type. Type means, is this for data coming in or going out? We call this inbound and outbound. Third, there is a protocol. Protocol is like a language. HTTP, HTTPS, SSH are protocols. They are different languages for communication. Fourth, there is a port. Port is like a door number. Port 80 is one door. Port 443 is another door. Fifth, there is a source or destination. This means where is the data coming from and where it is going to. It could be a specific IP address or any IP address. Finally, there is a allow or deny. This means, do you allow this traffic or do you block it? Remember, NACL checks rules in order. The first matching rules wins. If no rule matches, the default action happens. So in AWS, there are two types of NACL, default NACL and custom NACL. The default NACL is a very friendly. When you create a VPC, AWS gives you a default NACL automatically. This NACL allows all traffic. Yes, all traffic, both inbound and outbound. It allows everything to pass through. So it does not really protect you. The custom NACL is different. This is a NACL that you create yourself. When you create a custom NACL, it starts with no rules. It denies everything. Everything is blocked. Nothing can pass through. Then you must add rules one by one to allow the traffic you want. It is more work, but it is safer because you control what enters and what leaves. Think of it like this. Default NACL is like a door that is always open. Custom NACL is like a door that is always closed. You must give the key to the people you want to let inside. Most people use custom NACL for better security. You might have heard of Security Group. Security Group is another AWS security tool. How is NACL different from Security Group? Let me compare them. First, the level. NACL works at the subnet level. It protects many servers. Security Group works at the instance level. It protects one server. Second, stateful. NACL is a stateless. It forgets things. Security Group is stateful. It remembers things. It remembers the conversation. Third, allow or deny. NACL can both allow and deny traffic. Security Group can only allow traffic. It cannot explicitly deny. Fourth, rule order. NACL uses number rules. It checks in order 1, 2, 3. Security Group does not use numbers. It does not care about order. Fifth, response traffic. With NACL, you must manually allow response traffic. With Security Group, response traffic is automatically allowed because it is stateful. So, NACL is more powerful but more complicated. Security Group is simpler but less flexible. Use NACL for big, coarse grain control. Use Security Group for the fine grain control of individual servers. So let me explain ephemeral ports more clearly. This is a tricky topic, but I will make it simple. When someone connects to your website, here is what happens. Step 1. The person's computer chooses a random port number between 1024 and 65535. Let us say the port 5000. They send their request to your server using their port 5000. Step 2. Your server receives the request. Your server wants to send a response back. Step 3. Your server sends the response, but where? The server sends the response back to port 5000, not to port 80. Why? Because port 5000 is where the person's computer was waiting. So the NACL must allow traffic to port 5000, but the NACL does not know exactly which high port the person will use. So NACL allows all high ports from 1024 to 65535. This way, No matter which high port the person uses, the response can come back. If NACL does not allow the high ports, the response gets stuck. The person's computer never gets the response. They think your website is broken. Let me quickly remind you about all the important points we learn. Number one, NACL is a subnet level firewall. It protects all servers in a subnet together. Number two, NACL is a stateless. It forgets things. You must allow both request and response traffic. Number three, NACL supports both allow and deny. You can allow or block traffic. Number four, rules are processed in order. The first matching rule wins. Rule 1 is checked first, then rule 2, and so on. Number 5, NACL is used for coarse grain control. Coarse grain control means big general control. These are the 5 most important points. If you remember these 5 points, you will understand NACL. I know NACL can be confusing at first, especially the stateless part and the ephemeral ports, but if you watch this video again, it will become clear. If you have any questions about NACL, please write us in the comment section below. I will try to answer all your questions. And if you found this video helpful, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. More videos about AWS are coming. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.